Hey guys, Alex here, back again doing another review. Tonight it's the long-awaited The Dark Knight Rises review. I saw this movie last night, and right off the bat, let me just say, I love this movie. It was the perfect end to a masterpiece trilogy by Christopher Nolan, and bravo for him. It's probably the best superhero trilogy ever made. I'm hard-pressed. You could say Iron Man might be up there, but even that, it hasn't come up with the third one yet, so you can't tell. But just wow, what an accomplishment by this, and just goes to prove how great comic book movies are going to be. And this is just going to be the bar that every comic book movie is going to be measured on. This trilogy. Let me just talk about this right now. Pros and cons. Pros first. Story is amazing. It's so well done. It's basically taken from the Knightfall saga, which has to do with Bane coming to Gotham and basically taking over the criminal underground. And I'm not going to talk about everything. I'm going to keep this spoiler free. But they do a very good nice job of bringing this very interesting saga to life in a very cool way, and I thought they did a very great job of doing it. The plot, and Bane's plan to take over Gotham is just such a great plot, and the way he does it is very complicated, and you're very much invested into how this is all going to fit together when he finally reveals the plan. So that's a really great job by them in creating this great plan, and I really loved Bane. The cast was great, the acting was great, especially for some of the more emotional and sadder scenes, especially for Michael Caine, who played Alfred. He really got down these emotional scenes, especially when he tries to convince Bruce to give up the mantle of Batman. I mean, you could see the emotion that this character was bringing to the screen, and very nice job on him. Christian Bale was great. He really did an amazing job of conveying this man who's had this weight of responsibility. What's his name? Guy who plays Jim Gordon was great too. Everyone was really good. I loved all the actors, especially Tom Hardy and the person who played Catwoman, Anna Kendrick. What's her name? I can't remember her name right now. Sorry, but they were both great. Bane and Catwoman were very faithful to the comic books, and they were very much their own original characters at the same time. Catwoman, I thought really they got down perfectly, because they never called her Catwoman. She didn't wear a Catwoman costume almost. The ears that were supposed to be cat ears were goggles that she wore on top of her head, so they looked like cat ears, and I just thought that was really cool. And just they made her a cat burglar. That's what she was, and she was a thief. And I thought they got that character down great. Bane was a badass character. I really enjoyed him, especially when he was on screen. He really brought a real interesting presence. I mean, they really nailed this idea that this guy is a criminal mastermind almost, and this warlord guy, and they really got down this idea of him being so powerful and dominant, both physically and psychologically. He can just mess with you so well. Great job from him. Action special effects were the best in the series. Especially near the end, there's some special effects that are just mind blowing to watch. And I am going to go back and see it in IMAX. I didn't see it in IMAX opening night, but I hope to see it again very soon. I cannot wait to see what that looks like in IMAX. So, emotional scenes really do hit you hard. I'm not going to talk about them, but there are some that, they had you right there on the edge of tears, for me at least. And I'm sure some people cried during this movie, but man, they really got these scenes down. They were great. And just, it's really, especially ones with Alfred and him just pleading with Bruce to give up the mantle of Batman, were really emotional and very gripping scenes, and they did a great job of building this tension of from the first ones and the second one to this one, of Alfred trying to convince Bruce to stop doing this because he fears for his life, and I really liked that a lot. The twist in the story, there were two especially that I really liked, were great. I saw two of them, both of them coming though, near the end, but they were still great, and they still really kept you invested in this story, and I really enjoyed them a lot. I'm not gonna talk about them obviously, and I'm gonna say one word about the ending. It's perfect. Wraps up exactly how I wanted it to. Everything worked well. No need to go do a reboot. No need to reboot it for the Justice League or whatever. Leave Batman alone, at least for 10 years or something like that. Do not touch it. And also there was one little fan service at the end that just made everyone in the theater laugh, so I'm not going to talk about that yet. Cons. Bane's voice is a little hard to understand at times, although when he's delivering these very powerful speeches when he takes over Gotham, you understand his voice perfectly, you know. But there's some like when he kind of whispers and he's kind of being menacing toward Batman, you can't really hear his voice too well. Like especially during like their first fight scene, like that, and afterwards, I had trouble hearing his voice, understanding his voice. But when he gives a really powerful speech and like he's supposed to be delivering these great monologues, nails him down perfectly. And the voice didn't bother me too much, but like every once in a while, I just kind of like I had to really listen to it. And also some of the new characters were introduced not very well. Like who was the one woman? God, what's her name? I'm trying to remember the woman's name. The one who was doing the fusion thing with Bruce. God, Miranda. Sorry about that. Like she was not introduced very well, and like this Daggett, who's supposed to trying to take over Bruce Enterprise, like they were both kind of introduced just kind of like out of nowhere, and like they didn't really give a lot of backstory to them. They kind of explained later on during the thing, but like just for me, like I really thought they kind of skipped over the 8-year gap and didn't really explain what happened in those 8 years. Just for me personally, and but they clarified everything later on. But anyway, I gotta give this movie a 10 out of 10. I love this movie. I'm gonna go see it again. It was a very, very, very well done finale to the Batman series. Couldn't have done it better. I think this was just a labor of love for this franchise, and I think that every Batman fan will like this movie. I think that this is just the perfect way to end a trilogy. I do like Dark Knight more. I thought Dark Knight just had a little bit more going for it, but this movie just, man, it brings everything hyped up, and it just delivers everywhere. So that's it for now. Tell me what you guys think. Did you like the movie? Which one do you like more? But take care. Bye.